Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. And my name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the CEO, president, and founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17 time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I co-founded with Dr. David Yang. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. With that, I'd like to introduce my incredible guest, Karolyn Zeng. She's got a wide background, everything from movies to Stanford University to and research to now the fifth universe. So we're going to talk a little bit about that now. How you doing, Karolyn?
Hi, thank you, Gary. It's great. How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about now how in the world, I mean, you've got such a wide background. How in the world do you go down through and go from Stanford University, and everything from volunteering, but Stanford University to actually getting and starting your own company that's looking at the quantum reality, the quantum realm?
Thank you, Gary. I have to say, every single second of my life, I am extremely grateful for what I have, comparing to so many unfortunate people on planet Earth. And I luckily was, accepted to Stanford and working on molecular immunology. My training was biochemistry and molecular biology, and I studied DNA transcription. And during that journey, actually, campus like Stanford, they offer a variety of all kind of activities and curriculums. So luckily, I was able to explore a little bit more than biology and talk to visionaries like Daniel Dennett, Richard Dawkins, all these visionary, influential people that really opened my mind. And actually, luckily, it took me actually out of Earth and had a real great journey looking at Earth from a distance, from space, and collectively looking at our whole species, Homo sapiens, from a distance. So that took me also, actually, when I was graduating from high school, I had been a big fan of physics. I want to be a physicist or an architect. Somehow biology department took my file, didn't want to let me go. But anyway, so until today, I am still a big fan of particle physics, cosmology, and quantum physics, of course, And I'm a big fan of Einstein all along since I was a high school kid, for sure. And so that whole journey took me out of Earth is actually allowed me to connect the dots between human genetics and Turing machine code, quantum physics based on old tech, and even including relativity and the equation of the entire universe. They call it the equation of God, it's called God's equation. So somehow I connected all these dots on canvas. That's the whole point of me doing oil painting, was not that I aiming to be a commercial artist, is I want to share the story. We are all sharing that intrinsic universal code, the 2, 3. And it's in our DNA. That's why we're making DNA computers today, because we have that same universal code in our digital computer, which is 2, 3, has been proven by a British scholar. It's universal. So in the entire sophisticated digital world and biological world, and including the universe, well, I was born in China. I'm not boasting about the book of change because I'm Chinese, but Chinese was one of the first one thousands of years ago found out this 2, 3 was universal. So you guys can check out the book called I Ching, also called the Book of Change. The actually binary founding father, it's in your physics book. He actually had a copy of this book of change like 400 years ago, and when he was already working on a binary machine. And so when he saw this book from a diplomat, a German diplomat visited China, book and brought this copy to him, and he definitely, like, it's not that he got the hint from it, but he was already working on the binary machine. But seeing that book convinced him he's heading the right direction. And that's why today our digital world is so powerful, because we are all tapping into this universal code, going back home to the universe. That's why I say in my episode number 8, AI is our destination. It's by by nature. We are now jumping into this zettabyte era. We have so much data, we accumulated it. We have to rely on AI to help us to digest all these books, all this data in our hands, and also including exploring the universe itself, in order to go to out of the galaxy to explore something else. We will have to rely on a very powerful large language model. And beyond that, actually now DeepMind CEO, they are all lamenting about, no, this is very infancy. We are at the very early stage of large language model. Something else is coming out very soon. They are already working on it. So we need much more sophisticated digital solution, not just large language model. And we are going to get much bigger, better than large language models coming out. And people are already working on it. The point is, we are at the very early stage. So back to the point is about, as a startup, we are responsible of our future. We are all creating our futures together. Like, we cannot complain about it because we are responsible to make it better, to eliminate hallucination and many other issues. That's why now, like index, Lemma Index, like Jerry Liu, they're all working on solutions, how we increase accuracy for large language model. Also, people are, finding solutions beyond, like machine learning is based on Python. But now, Hugging Face, people are developing new language like Rust, RUST, and it's combining C++ and Python together and make even more efficient on top of Python, on top of C++, and providing, accuracy, efficiency, So the point is, we are in a very exciting moment, creating the future together, and we're improving this so-called AI. I don't even use the term anymore. It's such a cliche, When you talk about AI, people get angry. People want to kill it. People take it very personally. But I luckily went to Stanford, actually, 3 months of Python to educate myself. Like, don't look at AI.
Now, was that hard, Karolyn, taking that 3 months of Python at Stanford?
It was a lot of fun. It was really challenging. I mean, I was a non-tech founder, right? But taking that 3 months of Python, it's so much fun. I actually talk about it in my episode number 9, and illustrated the program I did, like with less than 20 lines of code. I was able to create this really infinite number of circled dots and random color, any color, random dots, and let it run infinitely. I was like, wow, that is the power of the digital coding. And the point is, I want to tell people, when you think about AI, think about Python, think about C++. It's not just a beast that can spit out, ChatGPT or Midjourney, or the image. Well, based on transformer model, it's like, can predict what's the next word, what's the next image, right? Actually, I call it the LLM 1.0. That is a very chatbot level and ChatGPT chatbot level. That's why when you're talking about, like when it's my startup is going to come out, I said, well, so many people can do chatbot now. I can do a chatbot, instantly in 5 minutes. It's just the entry level. Doing a chatbot is not enough to build your startup. Back to the topic of today is building a startup. We need to understand the vertical market very well, in order to survive, in order to differentiate yourself. So I have been working on this domain that we are working on for a long time, and before I started oil painting. And the reason I went to Hollywood is not that I want to be an actor, to be glamorous, and maybe I was, but the point is I want to use the movie, the media, to deliver the message about this universal code. And that's the reason I jumped into Hollywood.
What about The Last Princess? What was that about? You wrote
Gary, I am so lucky that actually I publish poetry. Actually, I belong to the Singularity Network. They actually published one of my pieces on the Singularity Network magazine. And so I was invited to present my poetry in Hollywood, in the Kodak Theater or the theater next to it, and people holding the movie script waiting for me outside when I finished my, presentation. And they invited me to the movie project. And after I read the script, I took it home, after I read the script, I said, you know what, if you want me to join this project, I will have to rewrite it. I didn't like that movie script. And they say, okay.
Did it become a movie? Did The Last Princess become a movie?
Well, it's a long story. I changed the whole script, and it was officially registered in Writers Guild of America. So I told and they insist I should be the first author, and put it in the officially, and then invited Jack Nicholson and Ziyi Zhang. We will play, The Last Princess, the twin sisters, and then I went to Japan to do fundraising for this project as a producer. A whole lot. We signed up the best attorney in Hollywood as well. So it's my fault, actually. When we were doing all these, deep inside of me, I felt like Hollywood is a great place. It's a creative heaven for so many artists and actors. I love it. However, I really realized, it deep inside of me, feeling like the box office, it's all about, can you make money? Can you make money? You are going through thousands of agents along the way. I felt like the universal code, story was diluted and diluted and diluted until, like, also Spielberg said, it's our fault that we spoil our audiences with all these violent movies. And so actually The Last Princess movie also integrated that element into it. Just like the movie Lucy. I love that movie. It has a great message. The performance was outstanding. And unfortunately, though, it still have to connect to those violent episodes, Anyway, so deep inside of me realized, like, no. Also at the meantime, that oil painting hit me, that's another story. And I realized there's no middleman between me and the heavens, on the oil canvas.
Right.
So that's why we did not release The Last Princess. I did develop some other scripts along the way, actually, without any pre-training. I did, people wouldn't believe I never got any training in movie script, but I did it. And then oil painting, the same thing. It's from the gift. It's from the heavens. I never had one single class for oil painting. However, in 5 years, Stanford called me up like, let's do a show, do a solo for you. And because it's the connection between the universal codes. And from 1 month show into 4 months long, and so many, special guests, come to our reception, including the governor's office and mayor of Saratoga and all these, Nobel laureates and in my reception. So the point is,
did you sell any of your paintings?
Yes, I didn't want to sign up gallery. Actually, I was invited to galleries, but I resist that. But I only give it to my friends or sell some to people I connect. It's a piece of my soul. And I was also hoping someday I will be able to have my own gallery and my own little temple to share this message. But all along, actually, I wanted to build a startup platform like this long ago, after I was transformed it. But I was not ready. Now, looking back, I was not ready. So I experimented with Hollywood, oil painting, all these different vehicles to deliver the message. And today, finally, it's a home run. I told my friends, this is not a 5-minute startup, like a lot of young people, they just grab a little piece of niche and develop a startup, For this, what I'm working on is a home run. It's who I really am. And I'm back home to the universe. And I think I'm ready to, invite many of, including you, Gary. I want to invite all of you to join me and join, the whole world to create this transformative, exponential, quantum level transformation for humanity, for a better world. It's not for my own bank account. It's for our future generation. We are responsible for our future generation. And we have the vehicles now because I've been waiting. I knew, I learned about the GPT-2, GPT idea, even from Ray Kurzweil's Singularity is Near, when he showed in his book about how you make the computer to paint, to do music, to do poetry. Actually, in his book, published in 2006, I already got the hint, like, someday I will have a platform like that, will allow our users write poetry, with the digital tool. So I got the hint at that time, but I don't think I had the bandwidth myself. I didn't have the bandwidth to do it at that time. And so, but now I am fully ready. That's why I quit everything else and do it full time and jump in, and hold 100% of me, and telling my friends, say, okay, I'm going to hide and don't expect me to be sociable from now on, because I want to use every single second of my life to make this happen. I'm 100% into it. And so here I am. Thank you, Gary, for also accepting us to your accelerator. The cohort 14 was exceptional, was really, and connecting us to the right mentors. And it was very, like a great learning experience for me. And so I highly appreciate that. And thank you, Gary. And including today, I am so highly honored, by your invitation to get this opportunity. Actually, I invited many of my friends to join this discussion. It's not about me. It's about like joining Gary, joining Karolyn for a discussion. So I'm waiting for questions for our audiences, because I want to have a discussion with all of you, because we are all together with this large language model and beyond it, and things beyond this large language model. We are at the beginning. We are at the and there are a lot needs to be done in our episode 3 and 4. I already lament about it, like so much hype right now, but so much work waiting for us to do. So much work, right? We need to jump in. We're talking about how to personalized education, right? We are talking about, yes, creating personal assistance for all of us. But as an individual consumer, do we know what do we want? Do we know enough about this LLM system to ask? Like, including now, we still have to do very sophisticated prompting. And now OpenAI and Google, Meta, they are all creating multimodal platform to simplify the prompting process, make it easier, and they're adding new solutions, so you don't have to prompt, you don't have to become a prompting engineer to do it, right? Because it's still very difficult for ordinary people. Like, you have to create a page-long prompting to do it. By the time I create that prompting, I might as well finish the essay already, right?
Yes. So, Karolyn, we're coming up to the top of the show. I don't want to miss out here. So, so tell us in summary, if you could just wrap up, and then how do people get a hold of you so they have questions?
Thank you, Gary. They can easily just email me through universe@fifthuniverse.com. It's very simple. And you can always find me in LinkedIn because I'm there almost every day. And I have my Facebook account as well, and you're welcome to jump in. And my Twitter, I barely use Twitter, but I have an account called DNA Brain, instead of digital brain, I call, it's my DNA Brain. I'm a DNA brain. So you can find me in these different channels.
No, it's great. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And I wanted to thank all the audience for joining us for one more time for GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. And I'm your host, Gary Fowler. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. We will be back to you again with another exciting edition on Thursday. Thanks, Karolyn. Appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Gary. Stay happy. Absolutely.